That never gets old.
No,
It does not
no.
ever get old. Okay. Even though it says on YouTube that there's an error and try again later, I'm going to intro anyway. So hello everyone and welcome to episode 11 of the OKKO Anime Club with our wonderful friend Animelting. Say hello, Pat. Today we're going to be talking about The World God Only Knows, which is a big favourite of a lot of ours. And before we kick things off, Pat, who are you and why are you so handsome?
Oh, well, I don't know why I'm so handsome, but I am Animelting. I have a channel on YouTube, and you might have seen me if you've been on Ebby or Alan's channel, because I appear there almost frequently. And you can go check out my channel if you like, because that's a thing. Yes.
Yeah.
If you don't know who
Yeah,
Animelting
Pat's
is,
wonderful.
it's in the
If
description.
you somehow don't know who he is yet, go check him out because he's like the best ever.
He's
And
brilliant.
before anyone says, I made this backdrop before I'd rewatched season 1, so I completely and utterly forgot that Hackwa was introduced in season 2.
Now, she's introduced in the preview for season 2.
Yeah, she's
so it's
introduced in the
justifiable.
preview, so it's alright. Alright, so who are we going to kick off with? Whose thoughts are going to...
Well, Pat
drive us
seems to
to
be
this?
a regular, so he should know how to do a summed up first impression thing.
Okay,
Well,
Pat.
All right, I'll
Over
give
to
this
you,
a go.
bro.
Let's see. Well, all I knew about The World God Only Knows before I watched it was that all three of you had watched it, and you said it was really good. And so I hadn't, and I went in with really good impressions, and I've come up thinking it's pretty good. I like it. I think it's one of the best sort of weird style harems I've seen. And what else is there to say? It's great. It's great. There's lots of fun. There's Dorodoros and pretty girls.
It's a wonderful excuse
and
to rave.
gaming references and a PFP.
PFP. So, I don't know about you guys, but this show's pretty baller. Show's pretty
It
awesome.
is.
I
It's
really,
pretty
really like it. It's in my top
Well,
20. So,
Oh man.
Really?
For a show that I do like so much, it's also a show that has certain things about it that, from when I first watched it, and I still agree with myself, that I really just don't like that much. Because what I like the most about World God Only Knows is basically, well, the whole main thing of the womanizing, well, womanizing is a strange way to put it, but the applying the visual novels to reality and the roots with the girls. What I don't like is the reasoning as to why that is having to happen. I don't like the having to catch loose souls like premise at all. I think
Why?
the whole I don't know. I just don't get along with it for some reason. I find like the magic aspect of the show, I don't really enjoy them that much. It's the stuff that's rooted in reality that I relate to that I really enjoy.
I guess the storyline needed something to push Kamer to do it.
And
Because
that is the thing.
what reason would he have if
Exactly.
it wasn't?
And
You're
that
gonna
is the
die.
only- And I understand that. And I understand that the story wouldn't be able to exist without a plot point like that.
Mhm.
I don't know. I just don't get along with it for some reason. Even though...
basically,
Well,
what
I
you're saying
do.
is Elsie is shit and Cam is offended.
No. Elsie is not shit. I just found like, for example, I think some of the weaker episodes are ones, well, the weakest episodes are the ones where he's not engaged in a route. Like, I think my least favourite episode of the series, this might insult Cam, my least favourite episode of the series is the one with the dragon and the eggs and Elsie.
No, I agree with that one.
Because that episode was just bad.
If it was all Elsie, it would have been fine, but it was split into bits with other people.
Yeah,
And,
so it was just like magic stuff and blah.
Yeah,
That wasn't
episode's
made
kind of
clear
cool.
at the beginning of that episode either. It felt like, oh, this was happening the next day, but no, it's the same things happening again.
Yeah.
That episode confused the crap out of me the first time I watched it. I was like,
I think
What's
it is
happening?
kind of nice that it is kind of nice to have those episodes though, or at least that one episode in between the two of the larger arcs.
Yeah.
Because it does kind of break it up a little bit and give you the impression of, oh, so he's not just wooing women all the time. Some
yeah, I think
other stuff is
though
happening.
they've done better episodes that have been more about Kama, and I like Kama a lot as a character. So
Yeah.
where it was like, oh, he's doing this thing where he's trying to beat this bugged game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that was a really
that was
liked-
good. Yeah,
I
that
liked
was
that
good.
I
episode.
liked that episode.
And I really like
And
the last episode as well.
The last episode, in all seriousness, is probably one of my favorite episodes of anime that's ever existed.
Mm-hmm.
Not even joking. I think it's amazing.
'Cause
Why
the
is
thing
this
I-
a
agree.
of me? But
Yeah.
that's fine.
The thing I really liked about the bugged game episode and the last episode is that they had nothing to do with the magic. They were about Kama and his life as opposed to being about like his random things being thrown into the mix. And because honestly, within each route, the actual magic side of it is only relevant right at the very end, apart from some select few bits, like with obviously Kanon becoming invisible and stuff like that, which was relevant and needed. But I don't know. I just felt like obviously something needed to be there to make this premise happen. I just feel like it being magic and the way it was magic kind of disagreed with me a little bit.
I didn't think it would have been the same without it. I don't know.
Well, Elsie wouldn't have been there with a big fluff.
She wouldn't have been as awesome. But yeah, well. Shall I talk about it, or like, because everyone knows why I like the World God Only Knows. But
it says in the description.
yeah, a little bit. But no, I mean, that aside, this, I mean, once again, for like the billionth time on OKKO Anime Club, this isn't a show that I would normally watch, because it's not people killing other people, either in a horror context or a shonen context. But this is easily one of my favourite anime series of all time. It's like way, way, way up there. And I think it is because it's the one anime that I've watched that's broken the mould, and it's done so in a way that's really engaged me and just made me happy inside. And the fact that I met the love of my life in there is completely irrelevant to the matter.
It's like me and Free.
So without Elsie, would you still like the show as much?
Sorry, I just got to pat Emily's head. I don't know. Probably not, to be perfectly honest.
If
I'd
Elsie
still like
was
it.
replaced with Hakwa.
Ugh! Ugh! I would spend the entire time vomiting.
Elsie,
entirely
also known
different
as
experience.
Homewrecker.
I love
was
that
genius.
episode.
I'd forgotten about that, and I was like, Jesus Christ, you just completely wrecked his family.
Did you also forget that his mom used to
No
be in a
one seems to
biker
care,
gang?
though.
I've forgotten
how
that bit.
She didn't even go, oh, your illegitimate daughter's here, so he could go, well, she's obviously not, because I'm not.
Just
I didn't have an
instantly believes
illegitimate
everything.
daughter. Yeah, she's just like, fuck you, don't come back.
and there's nothing wrong with that.
I'm so professional. And
I had that prepared
so
just for that joke.
I think we should go through this arc by arc. So it just makes more sense to do it that way, and then we can talk about who our favorite characters were and stuff like that afterwards. So
things
the
off.
first arc was
Track
the
Club.
sports girl, and I don't remember her name for the life of me. I can
That
never
There's
one-
remember
only,
her
alright.
name.
That
There's only
one-
one of the girls whose name I remember.
That one
Is it
what
Kanon?
ties her hair up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the track one, I don't remember her name. No one else seems to remember her name, so she was obviously best girl.
Quick!
Hey, I don't remember
know
the name
all-
of my favourite character, alright?
I know all of their names. Just give me 1 second while I jog my memory.
Oh, okay, Cam. Very subtle. What I really appreciated about the first arc is that it didn't feel like it had that much less in it than the other arcs when it was only half an episode long.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that the first episode did was it was like, here's the premise of the show, here's how things get resolved. And that was pretty much it.
And it was cool.
That's-
And it was
yeah.
like, here you go. What this is Amagami SS with like each thing being canon.
No, I
pretty
totally
much.
agree. I think that first episode, I think back to when that premiered, I reckon that would have just been like a fantastic first episode for anyone who watched that series.
People would have
It
gone
really
ham on
was.
it.
Well, here's
Yeah.
the thing, I showed this in my university's anime club. Cam was there, you should
Yeah,
remember.
I was totally there. You should have remembered me being when I was like, "Who is this beautiful creature?" I mean,
Her name's
anime.
Ayumi. Her name's Ayumi. But I showed this in club, and this went down so well because at least the first episode just wraps everything up really, really nicely, so you understand what the world is about, and that's what it needed to do, and it did it really well.
It did it in one episode as well, which is like I kept on watching the other episodes, and it's just like, oh, this one's going to carry on over the episode.
And the thing I really like about the series as well, which I think is what makes it so easy to watch, is the fact that, like you just mentioned before, Alan, how the arcs kind of go in episode halves rather than like full episodes. So you get it. So it's really late, so I can't speak very well.
That's my bad.
Yeah, you get it. So like a storyline will end halfway through an episode. So the next half of the episode is a new story that leads into the next episode, which just makes it so easy to go straight through.
Like that. So few shows do that.
Yeah, and more should.
But it's a bit risky as well. Like, what if it didn't end on a high? Then it wouldn't like really encourage many people to come back. It's like, oh well, that's the end of that story. Maybe I'll go watch something else.
What do we think of Ayumi then? Because I have other impressions on her, obviously based on how much more screen time she gets in like goddesses and stuff.
You guys know how much I like Genki characters, so she was my favorite of all the demon haunted women.
Really?
Yeah.
She was your favorite.
I liked her. She was so.
Have you seen the other two seasons?
And you never see her for the rest of the series. But she just had like a wicked introduction where she just kept on crashing into walls.
Yeah, running into walls. It was brilliant.
Yeah.
So
Continuously.
have you only seen season 1?
Only seen season 1, but as I demonstrate right now, season 2 ready to go.
Oh man,
oh, baby.
You're gonna have fun with that.
I'm keen.
Some of my favorite characters are from season 2, so.
Because they totally teased it at the end of the last episode as well. Like season 2 is definitely happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was nice when it ended because I was like, oh, I started watching it when it was airing, and it was at episode 11, and I marathoned the first 11 episodes, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss this show, and then it went season 2 coming, and it was straight away.
The worst part.
Can you imagine how cack it would have been if it didn't get another season? That would have just been the worst ending ever.
All I was going to say is, do you remember...
He's still got his, like, gimp collar on that's going to kill him one day.
Well, do you remember at the end of season 2? Because at the end of season 2, they tease goddesses, but goddesses wasn't confirmed at that point. So we basically went an entire year at the end of season 2 going, well, shit, that's it?
What does that mean?
Yeah. They even show all the girls, and we just thought, oh, this is just a huge cock tease. It's never going to happen. And then it did, like a year later. Yeah.
Oh, fuck that. Nothing's like
moving
that.
On. Moving on to everyone's favourite tsundere bitch. Mio, that's her name.
Yes.
The blonde one with the shoes.
She was funny.
She was my least favourite.
But
that arc made me so fucking hungry. You have no idea. Like sandwiches. I was running out of food in the house, and luckily after I watched that arc, I was able to go to Morrison's to get me a reduced food. But bloody hell, like I was so hungry during that arc, it was unbelievable because it was just like I get 100 freaking sandwiches wrapped in egg with noodles.
That's like 80p. That's such a good deal.
Like,
I know, right?
Just like that bit when she crashes into Kama and there are just suddenly sandwiches everywhere.
Yeah, it's just like, oh. But the thing is, yeah, that was stupid as hell. Because can I just say, if you had such a sandwich of that sort of size and with a relatively complex little weave of ketchup just kind of drawn on the top there. When you put that in an enclosed space and then put that in a pile or a bag, that ketchup is going to get smeared along the outer packaging, and yet all of that ketchup decor was flawless. No smear on it on the inside of the packaging.
That's 80p well spent.
Like, that must be magic ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like $5,
like vacuum
by the way, Pat.
Really?
Because Australia is just expensive, so... Like, oh, you want a cup of noodles? $3.
When did that ever happen? I've got some 80 cent
When I went to
noodles
Australia,
right over there.
I got a packet of shin cup noodles, and that cost me like $3 or $4. It was really expensive, and I was sad.
Maybe they were like, this girl isn't from around here, we can rip her off.
It was into Woolworths, I think.
Well,
Anyway,
cool.
that's my
Should've gone
Australia story.
Anyway, yeah, I was talking more about sandwiches than the character. She probably was my least favorite still, but I did enjoy it.
I
Quite
like
a
that
lot,
arc.
so.
That was definitely one of my
Yeah,
favourites.
I thought it was good. I liked how it set up, and I liked how it progressed.
I
liked
liked
how
how
he confessed and then just got like kicked to the curb.
I like the carriages on the bikes.
I like the Zaku head.
Yeah, the Zaku head. I particularly like the train.
Yeah.
Elsie, I can't do this. No.
The giant
I just
giant
thought-
pumpkin. That was
I
a good
found
one.
it so funny how she was just like, okay, I'm being taken to school on a steam train today.
A steam train being pulled by a bicycle.
Yep.
Yes.
And now she just like doesn't notice when it's like, oh, it's not just a bicycle, it's actually a carriage.
Behold the power of money. She's
Shows
rich.
how-
She's probably used to it.
Yeah.
What were you gonna
That's
say
how
about
she
this
gets
one,
around.
Pat?
Oh, I would just like how blatant it was that she was tsundere. Like, you could just see, as she walked in, it's like, oh, here comes the tsundere. Let's see how this goes.
That was pretty much it.
Like,
Yeah.
there was no... That's another thing about this entire series. Every archetype you can pretty much see from a mile off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's like the bit where
I
Kame
just-
is just like, oh well, she's 99% this like textbook character archetype. If only she was short. Oh shit! Platform shoes. Whoa!
that was like the
think it
previous
serves-
arc
it-
as well. It's like, she's not a sports person until she ties up her hair.
Yeah.
Oh, there it
serves,
goes.
it serves the show really well for a lot of the characters to be following a really kind of strict archetype, because when you're trying to introduce a fresh character every few episodes and they're only in it properly for 3 episodes, it means like a lot of the development is already done and you can just kind of like get on with it, add your quirks from there on, because you kind of are already familiar with what the character's going to be like from there on.
And
It kind of makes
serve
them-
a purpose, not like giving them layers upon layers, because then you don't grow too attached to them, so you can move on to the next person.
It gives them.
Nah, I grew attached, bro.
Really?
We'll get onto that in a minute.
All right.
Ugh.
It gives a good way of it allows the show to explore the different archetypes in the characters as well by not making them overly complicated, and kind of going, well, we're exploring the tsundere rich girl archetype, and we're not going to muck about with it too much because that's the whole point. The whole point is Kamer is drawing parallels between gaming and real life to the point where sometimes it scares him that they're so similar. And then also pointing out the differences as well and how he overcomes those differences, like moving a bit further on, the girl in the library, how she doesn't have an internal monologue and how he kind of gets around that.
The girl in the library.
Yeah, man. Girl in the library?
Shiori.
Shiori. I knew that.
Is that her name, Shiori?
Yeah.
I think that's her name.
Yeah, it is
Her
her name.
name's Library Girl.
I knew that.
Fuck off, everyone. No, right, we're not getting there yet. Shall we
Where
move
was that?
on from Mio?
I had one other
Or
thing
do we
actually
want
I
to talk
wanted to say
about the
about
way
her.
that wrapped up?
Yeah, I was going to say, I really enjoyed the whole kind of thing with her father at the end, because it was like, oh, and now she's moving on. Okay.
Yeah, that was quite
So
nice.
I feel like her life was the one that was probably changed the most.
Yeah.
Yeah,
by,
oh yeah, definitely.
By Kamer's, by Kamer's intervention.
Tell you what I did want at the end of that arc, her to just go like ape on those business guys who turn up on her when she was like...
Force-
stopped there.
pummeling them.
Force feed them sandwiches.
Yeah.
Tamer gets like a kick to the
Slightly
face
spoiled
for saying he
sandwiches.
loves her, but they're like all full on douchey, and they never do anything about it.
You know what? It's one of those things where I'm like, I'm okay not being rich, because everyone who's rich seems like a dick in fiction, so it must be true in real life.
Ah man, her dad seemed like a nice chap,
Yeah, man.
and then he
He was
died.
That's
rock
because he
and
was a
mustache.
dad.
That's what happens to
Yeah.
nice guys.
And a
They
bitchin'
die.
mustache. But yeah, that's what happens when you're nice. You die. So stop being nasty.
It was really unclear what he did as well. Could have been like a mob boss or something.
He was the head of a mafia family.
And what I don't understand is why it was like, oh, he's dead, therefore this family is now dirt poor. Like,
Yeah.
why did they not save?
Like, yeah, did he not like have an
Maybe
investment
he had,
fund
like,
or anything?
mad bills,
Mad bills.
or maybe
Mad
like
bills,
his. I don't know. I was about to say maybe his wife, and I was like, wait a minute, that's the one who's working for this youngster now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The mum doesn't get anything out of it. She doesn't even get any screen time. The guy who's
Oh, I
dead
know
that
why.
left
I know
them
why.
dirt poor
I
gets,
think
like,
it's because his
full
daughter
5-minute
spent it all
montage.
on sandwiches.
Or the chauffeur. They just kept the chauffeur
sure.
around until he stormed off to go and leave.
Yeah.
I will say, one of my favorite parts of the series is where he just drops the private light on top of his car and drives off.
Alright, shall we move on from Mio to talk about some pink-haired bint?
Oh,
Kanon.
she's so good.
She's gonna shoot you with her love cannon.
She's so good. I'm Ayumi, idoru watashi. It's so good. It's so good. I love it.
Can I just say though, I am sick and tired of All For You because I've heard it every 5 seconds when that first came on when we watched it the first time.
Yeah, because she comes on and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna sing you a song, All For You," and then the next song is the same song.
I was
Show.
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised that they do actually use 3 different songs though. Well, 4 technically.
Good,
which was quite...
Okay, Evie, tell me why you don't like her, and then I'll disagree with you.
I don't know. I think I'm separating the arc from the character, because I think the arc was my favourite arc, because it was interesting, but I don't like Kanon as a character, because many reasons, but I guess I just don't like the idol character, or whatever. I don't know what she was.
The idol archetype.
She was the idol character.
The idol character. I mean, she was okay. She wasn't my favourite though.
My favourite character.
I feel like she is massively overrated. Sorry.
No man.
Are you all about that lime hype? As in the other idol that wasn't as popular. From the
I like
group.
how they had Kanon with bright pink long hair, this girl with like bright blonde twin drills.
Twin drills.
And then they had just like some brunette with short hair. It's like I don't.
She was never heard from again.
For some reason, like I had like a memory that they kind of did a reunion or something, but does that happen in a later series or is that like just not a thing?
Kanon has like her own spin-off OVA, so maybe it happens in that. I don't know because I haven't seen it.
Okay, I feel like I've seen that happen, or maybe I just wanted that to happen and assumed it happened in my memory.
I wanted to happen in that big end scene where they were all like, I thought they were going to be like cheering in the crowd or something, and they're going,
well, literally, all I thought was when she was like singing in the empty room, that they were just going to like walk in.
Yo,
yeah,
I heard you singing our.
We're going to do like a reunion then and there. And
I heard you singing our song, mate.
Together.
That's copyright, yeah.
That was the best song.
Give me some monies. I think my favourite character besides Elsie is in that arc, and it's the old fan guy with the crazy moustache.
Oh, he's
and he goes to Elsie. He goes to Elsie, and he's like, "Oh, seeing as you're here, seeing as you're here, we're watching Citron on my laptop. Do you want to join in?" And I just
like, who brings a laptop to a gig?
It just gives me hope that there are like fan people for idols and stuff out there who are genuinely like that. I don't think they are.
No man, there's people of us like there's people like in queues at anime conventions like, look, I've got a Tensei Twister video on my laptop. Do you want to watch it with us? And they've got these big kind of like bancho robes with Tensei Twister on the back.
I wish when I see that
mask over their face.
When I see that, my job is done. I can quit life.
Yep. Okay.
That'd be amazing.
Can I say why I like Kanon so much now?
Go on.
No.
Because
can I just say I like her in season 3. I don't like her that much in season 1.
Okay. I really appreciate how the show initially with Kanon puts on this kind of facade that she's just this kind of vain bitch, and she wants everyone to look at her, and like the lyrics of her songs very much suggest like, I am an idol, look at me, please look at me. Until it's kind of unfolds that's the theme. Like she's acting like that because of like trauma, and that's the reason. Like that's the reason the loose hole is in her, and it just kind of works so well. And then when it kind of like gets to the point where she has someone else to rely on, and she changes, and you kind of realize, oh, she's not just some vain bitch. she's actually got something.
I think she's an example of a character.
Sorry, I was going to say it leads up to that great moment where Kamiko is just like, I'm calling bullshit on this. You don't really want this.
So it's the first example of a character that's got a lot more depth than what is face value as far as the arcs are concerned.
And for me, this was the arc that most justified magic being a thing, because her being invisible, whilst not ultra relevant, like necessary, I guess, because they could have done those plot points without her being invisible.
Well, I think
But
that was the kind of... I think the problem with, like you mentioned before, the problem with the whole loose soul thing is up until the Kanon arc, there was no kind of... It was like, okay, there's a loose soul inside this girl. So what? It's not doing anything. And it's not until Kanon and then some characters later on that it actually like shows, yeah, having these things inside you does cause a problem, and in some cases quite severe ones. So in Kanon's case, she will literally disappear.
Is that something that comes up more in season 2?
Yeah.
Like that's like the only time it really
they make
in the heart really shine through.
Yeah, they I'm pretty sure one turns out to be quite dangerous if I remember correctly, but.
I think it's more.
My memory,
season 2 hype on.
Yeah, my memory of season 2 is hazy.
2.
Yeah,
and I think for me, this arc had both the best conclusion and the biggest moment of me going, man, I really don't want her to lose her memory of this. I want this to just be a thing. I want Kanon to be Kanon.
Oh.
Can I just say, does everyone else get that feeling that Kama does fall a little bit in love with these girls at the end of every time?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
More so in some than others, but I feel like that definitely came up in this arc a little more than some of the other ones.
I kind of hope that becomes like a thing. I mean, I can't remember.
By the way, no manga spoilers in the chat, or otherwise I'm gonna freak out. Just FYI.
I don't remember much of season 2 because I watched season 2 while I was doing my dissertation, so my mind at the time was just like, H.P. Lovecraft. And I haven't seen season 3.
Your dissertation just has like a section devoted to what God only knows.
Yeah, and then I haven't seen season 3 yet, so I don't know.
The world Cthulhu only knows.
Yeah, it's called Ryla. But anyway, yeah, it's I really hope that becomes a thing. Like Kama gets to this point and he's like, I literally cannot do this anymore because I am developing real feelings for these people, and they forget me. And you do get a sense. You do get a sense of that, but yeah.
But then he's just like, I'm just gonna play some games.
Yeah, he's just like, I love games.
And then he gets taken. He gets taken.
2D girls.
Yeah, man.
And the thing, the best thing about Kanon was I thought that concert was bloody good.
What?
I thought
it was great, wasn't it?
Are you joking?
The crowds were like mental, and she took ages to show up, but you know, it was a good concert.
I really liked it.
Are you actually joking? Because it was the most plainly animated thing in the world.
Nah,
it's like, let's do some swaying. Happy.
Nah, it was great, and then she changes her outfit, and it was basically, Evie. There's a limit to what you can do in terms of like a one-person dance routine. It's not going to be glorious like IMAX or something up there. But I mean,
that's what mirrors are for.
I was just reminded. I was like, yes, this is how you do a concert. You don't go suddenly concert. Time for everyone to be CGI. I'm not even just going ham on Love Live here.
That it isn't CGI, right? But it still sucked because it was just boring to watch. It was like, I get to hear Happy Crescent again while she sways, and the crowd are like, yeah.
Good, man.
No, they weren't.
Yeah, they were.
I think this is my problem with the Kanon.
Right.
It's just generally, I heard All For You, Happy Crescent, and whatever the fuck the other one was, so many times, and I was like, I need to. I need to not be watching.
I actually think them having 3 full songs for just an arc was pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just don't use them all the time. Just don't use them all the time. Do something else.
I did like when there was that one bit where she went up onto the roof to sing to Kama, and she was all like, I'm going to sing you a song that hasn't been released yet. Oh no, I hope my manager doesn't find out and I get fired and I lose my job and my livelihood and the reason why everyone's looking at me. This is a bit short-sighted. Oh dear. What if he's got a device there? What if he's filming it, you know?
Directly after that is when she's like, oh no, I'm late for a recording session, and suddenly a helicopter appears.
Bye!
That was my favourite bit. I was like, what? Is this what idols do?
Off on a helicopter. It's the only way they can leave.
But the reason why Kanon isn't best girl is because she only wears her glasses half the time.
What were you going to say?
It was a mistake.
I was just going to say this one, I reckon, had one of the most genuinely sweet moments in the entire series, which is when she asks if she can message him, because she doesn't really have any friends. And then she just sends this message, which is like, block of thank you. And then she totally abuses that power like seconds later by just calling him all the time. Just with all these ridiculous... My hair doesn't look good this morning.
I did quite appreciate like why it was him she went to, I guess. Because like he's like the only one who wasn't like all over her. So like he's the only one who she could actually be like friends with as an equal. Because if she was like, okay, my friend is going to be this person, that would be like an unhealthy friendship because they would just be kind of worshipping the ground she walked on. Whereas Kama was like the only person in her immediate life who'd be able to just view her as a human being and not as an idol.
I think the only criticism that I have about this arc in particular, really, because I really enjoyed it overall, I just felt that it was a smidge, the tiniest smidgen too long, because it was like over the course of 3 episodes that it happened. I think it was like two.
It was way too short. It should have been 100 episodes.
You would say that, but I feel because I think it's just because in terms of when you compare it to the other ones, so you've got one that's like half an episode, one that's an episode and a half, and then you've got the last one which is like an episode and a half, and then you've got one that's 2.5 episodes. It just seemed a bit bloated as opposed to the others. Like, it was still good. I just felt it didn't have the same sort of pacing as the others. Didn't float, so it was
less punchy in a way.
It kind of
I
made
feel like
the
it
series...
went more in depth on certain themes. Than
it did. There are definitely advantages and disadvantages to it. I just felt like the series as a whole lost a little bit of momentum because of it. But still, it's all good.
Did it come out when idols were big? Because maybe that's why they devoted more time to it.
Maybe they just went. They went. You know what? Alan's going to be watching this, so we need to spend some more time here. Because they'd already catered to me because my
of glasses.
Yeah, because they've already catered to me because my favorite character's in the whole thing anyway. So
yeah, she is, and she's like, "I make you a cake."
Yeah, man, I'd have eaten the shit out of that cake.
So are we done with Kanon, or does anyone else have anything to say about Kanon?
I'm okay being done with Kanon.
I suppose.
Yep. So next is the dragon episode, and then Shiori.
Don't want to say anything else about dragon episode because it was crap.
You got to see Kama's mum in the buff. That was amazing.
Yeah, you did.
I enjoyed that.
Kama's mum, she's gone.
The problem is, it gives you the payoff right at the start of the episode, so it's just like, the rest is just.
Yeah, but you got to see Elsie being a total prat.
Yeah, man. That's what.
Oh man, they've got sugar in this world too.
That's what she does best.
Actually, that episode had an amazing reference to My Neighbor Totoro in it.
Yes, it
and
did.
I was very happy.
Oh yeah.
With an umbrella, not a pencil.
At the end of the episode, where the giant squid lunchbox fights the dragon, and the teacher's just watching, is like,
What's going on in this house?
References actually, by comparison to some of the others.
Yeah, I love the fact that the teacher gets so frustrated at the fact that Kane is just sitting in class playing games, but he's still getting 100% and stuff. Yep. Like, I can't tell him that this is wrong because it's not.
Now,
I'm gonna talk to your mum.
There were a lot of ridiculous things in that episode, but the most ridiculous thing was that the tentacle lunchbox, when it ate the dragon, it ate it with the lunchbox, and the lunchbox got bigger.
Yeah, man.
How?
Magical lunchbox.
It's just like it's like crazy.
It's made out of the same material that Elsie's bottles are made out of. Can I just say that whenever she captured the loose soul at the end of an arc, did anyone else get the Ghostbusters theme in their head?
Oh, one thing I want to say about whenever she captures a loose soul, I'm just kind of like, I'm happy that it wasn't the same animation every time, because it easily could have been, and so many studios would have made it like that.
Well, sort of. Well, the first two were sort of similar, and then in the next two, she's just sort of standing there. She's not jumping into the air and catching them anymore.
The loose soul always has.
You're sat on a bench.
What I've noticed is the loose soul always has the same dejected face whenever she's about to put the bottle top on him. Oh no, not again.
Can we talk about the other arc now?
No.
I want to talk about the teacher because he's got the best chin in anime.
No, he's got the best suit in the world.
Yeah, and he's just
he does have a pretty baller suit as well.
Captain Chin.
He spoke so. Wasn't he the English teacher?
Oh,
yeah.
Can we talk about the other teacher as well? The one that looks like Nana?
Oh man, she's amazing.
Yeah. She's just like.
I swear that I thought that she was way more important than she is.
As well.
She might get more important.
She's going to get her own art.
Because there's another teacher that comes in the second season, and she got an arc, but I don't know about the other one. I don't know about Nana, Miss Nana.
It's Nana Sensei.
Yeah, man. So
It's been great to get an arc where she's just riffing on a guitar. And
Kama, you should stop playing games and play the guitar. Join my band. Play. Do you want to play Guitar Hero, Kama?
Kama gets a guitar. He needs a guitar.
And then starts playing dating sims with it. He's like, oh, wicked! I can add this to my swivel chair.
Teletubby guitar.
There's an OVA that is just like a massive Kanon reference because like Elsie and a bunch of girls from their class start a light music club, and she
is so good.
She plays the bass but left-handed, so she's basically Mio.
That sounds.
That OVA is just kind of like. Oh,
you said the words OVA and Elsie, so I need to watch it.
Yeah.
Clearly, I can overlook the flagrant Kaonism for that reason alone. If Elsie was in Kaon, I'd enjoy it a lot more.
I think what you should do is you should watch Kaon, but get like kind of a sticker of Elsie and just stick it on your screen whilst you watch it, and you'll be like, yeah, Elsie's in the.
Isn't that basically what this like, OVA I'm about to watch is?
Pretty much, yeah.
Cam's bailing. He's got to go see
man,
it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm out again. See you later.
So the last arc.
The last arc saw the birth of a wonderful, wonderful joke, and that is Shobosha. Which the fire engines, which is a thing that continues for the remainder of. It's incredible. It doesn't end either. It carries on. The fire engine sirens resound all the way into the second season and probably beyond.
I'm gonna say something about this arc that might surprise you all.
Really?
You don't like it, do you?
No, this was my favourite arc in the entire 3 seasons.
Is that
I was so well done.
Is that for two specific reasons? Is that for two specific reasons? The right lens and the left lens?
Maybe. Lots of reasons. First and foremost, I wouldn't say Shiori is my favourite character. She's very close.
Glasses, did she? Oh no, she didn't even wear glasses. What am I talking about? I'm talking bollocks.
Kama wore glasses.
Yeah, I'm getting confused by Kama.
Yeah, I think like in a way, I'd say in season 1, if we just in the realms of season 1, I'd say Shiori is my favourite character. But I feel like Kanon is probably my favourite girl overall because of what happens later on with her. But first things first, Shiori is like, oh my god. Like, she did retarded things to my Kokoro. You have no idea. Thankonomics, man.
Yeah,
like,
Thankonomics was genius.
Oh, she's so good.
What was the word? Ariganon or something?
Arigaron.
Arigaron.
It's so good. I loved it.
Can I just say though, in the dub, she was voiced ridiculously in the dub because it's all like she sounds like a whimpering dog half the time, and it really annoys me. But Shiori's arc was my favourite arc. Yeah, I thought Kanon's arc was the most interesting arc, but I thought Shiori's arc was my favourite because of, you know, when they kiss at the end and it's like, oh, he's got the music going in the background.
Yeah, this arc had the best music easily. That song that they started playing towards the end of it was so good.
Mm-hmm.
That song, that's the opening, but the longer version of it, it's like
stupid.
9 minutes long.
It's like 3 different songs stitched together.
Yeah.
It's like 5 different songs stitched together.
This leads me into something else though. The incidental music in this show, amazing, so good. I really like the music in the entire show because I just love how it kind of has the gamey feel to it, but at the same time, it's still like really good, and it's just nice to have it in the background, you know.
Yeah.
But one thing what I've really, really, really liked about Shiori is that usually when you have these kind of danderes that are outwardly incredibly quiet, you're still always viewing everything from the protagonist's perspective, so you don't get her internal monologue. But with this you do, and it's like she's not just this kind of like blank, brainless knobhead. It's just like she's trying to say these things, but she can't. And it's like, come on, you could do it, and then she can, and then she just speaks, and it's amazing. Wow. And then she gets sad because the books are going away, and she loves the books so much.
And then she makes her crazy book fort.
Yeah, it was pro. And it leads into just like probably like the most well-directed scene in the franchise. that freaking the scene where after the books collapsed is so good.
Mm-hmm.
It was just so bloody well done because it was like you see
there were
the
so many
light
good
from
scenes
the
in that
PFP,
library.
and it's just kind of like he pulls it through, and then it does the whole kind of like metaphor with all the books kind of swirling around in the air, and it's just like, oh my god, this is so good. I loved it, even though all the books were CGI. I loved it.
CGI books.
CGI books.
Yeah, the imagery in this was just really, really good. I think that's
I love
probably
that
one of
part
the
where-
reasons why I like it so much.
Oh, I was just gonna say when Kama's on top of the bookshelf, he's just like really trying to look cool.
Yeah.
He
Where he's
does
just
as
falling
well.
from the ceiling,
Yeah.
and then he falls down again. He does that so much through the series.
Yeah, I was
well.
gonna say,
He's just like-
Kama is just a classic case
Always
of I
close.
want to be awesome so much, but I keep messing it up. So he'll look
Can I
awesome
just
for
say-
about 5 seconds, and then just look like a complete tool, which is genius.
Kama, we haven't talked about Kama yet, but Kama is my favourite thing about the
Ka-
world, God only knows.
Kama is
Well, that's
absolutely
good because he's the
fantastic.
main character.
Yeah.
You know, he's the only character that has taken his glasses off, and I think looked really good. You know, because he took his glasses off when he had the thing, and I was like, whoa!
Alan's gone. I think we've lost it. Yeah. Alan's rage quit.
Later.
Alan's rage quit. Oh, he's
Said
proper
the
gone.
Forbidden words.
Oh dear.
Not sorry. Hashtag sorry, not sorry.
And then there were 3. So yeah.
I like King.
He's back.
My favourite.
That was
you got-
genius idea.
Have you calmed down now?
A little bit.
A little bit.
He's
Okay,
taking
that's
his
fine.
smile pills. Look at him go.
Looked at a picture. Shiori.
I think this was my favourite arc. Was it my favourite arc? Yes, it was. Yeah, it was probably. I don't know if Shiori's my favourite girl, but I did like how the arc just kind of ramped up to ridiculous levels. Just the whole bit where she just locked herself inside the library and was like, "I shall not be moved. This media room is an aberration, and I will not tolerate it."
Oh, and the head of the like librarian group was such a knobhead.
She came
I'll
good
cut the
towards
power.
the
She
end.
had glasses. So she wasn't all bad, but she was a knobhead.
She was.
She didn't go
Like
to
the bit where
the
they're just
teacher.
like, yeah, so you could have just got a teacher, and she's like, "No, I want to terrify
The
this poor
principal."
girl."
Hey Cam.
Yeah.
Arigato.
There you go.
Ah!
I died a little bit. It was so good.
Alright, everyone do your best Shiori impression.
Everyone in the chat as well. Type them in. Type in your Shiori impressions. Now.
Thanks.
You backers.
Did
Oh!
did shouts Kinross. Kinross pointed out that there were Nazi overtones in the that arc where he's like doing the whole this is how
Yeah.
it should be, and he's got like the stigmata behind him. And then later on, it's all about like burning books as well. I thought that was interesting.
Oh.
Yes.
That's the one thing that's really nice about this series as a whole. It's extremely referential, but not just in
Yeah.
anime terms. It's referential to everything, from the absolutely blatant. You know, whenever Kama does his little sayings.
Yes,
Those are
wonderful.
Those are like incredibly blatant anime references to the really subtle ones, like the Zaku head. The fact that the track team have the Mach 4 logo from Speed Racer on their jackets.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it took me a while, and I was like, hang on, that's the M from the car. And then just all sorts of little things like that, to then just like full blown references to real life stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's genius. And that's one thing that I do really love about this show. And actually, no, I'll save that for the end, because I was just about to spoil my final thoughts point then.
No, I'll say it now, actually. You know how in the last episode they made all these references to like systems, like they had the Creamcast
Yeah.
and the Y box and whatever. In the dub, they're just like, oh yeah, this was on the NES. Oh yeah, that was on the SNES. And this was on the Atari Jaguar, and they were just like not even trying to hide it. I love the dub. The dub was really good. I'll talk about the dub later. But, yeah.
What do we think about the wrap up to this? I think we talked a little bit about it, but
Yeah,
It was-
okay,
it was-
I really
cool, 'cause
liked
we'll move
when-
into the last episode, and then that'll segue us onto like a more in-depth discussion.
No, I
on
think
Kanon.
we meant.
Oh, the wrap up of the arc.
to Shiori's. Because I really liked
Woody
when
Allen.
Kamer and Elsie were
Sorry.
talking at the end, and he was pretty much like, "You didn't help. You were just looking at fire trucks."
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
And
surprised
what?
that-
I was
I'm
learning
surprised
about
that
the real
Cam-
world.
I'm surprised that Cam thinks that Kamer is okay because he's really shit to Elsie.
No, that's fine, because when Kamer's shit to Elsie, she can come crying to me. That's fine.
And then she can like wash you in the bath.
Yeah,
That'd be
man.
great.
I was so jealous at that point.
Oh, can I just like say
Some
shout out
floating
to that
heads in
bit
the
where
bath.
Elsie's trying to freaking hand him a note and then it gets
Yeah, and that girl
sorry
reads
about
out-
what happened in the bathroom.
Obvious troll is obvious. So she just
embarrassing.
stands up and goes, "Yep, sorry about the bath." But yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. It just adds more depth to her character, because her Oni-chan, Kami Nisama, is a knob. But he's not. He's amazing. I
Exalted
love
brother.
Kamer. I think that's all it is. I can't hate Kamer for being mean to Elsie, because I love Kamer as well.
Mm. Can I just say, where the fuck are the Kamer scale figures? Those would be amazing.
Oh man.
Where are they?
Can you imagine like a
Just-
God of
just like in
Conquest
that
mode,
front-
Yeah,
Kamer?
that'd be the best
Oh,
thing. 'Cause you'd have like these like effect
consoles.
parts.
Yeah, the after
Coming
images just behind him. Oh, it'd be insane.
It'd be so hard to get
love
done
that.
right, and it'd probably be well expensive.
But it'd be so worth it. I'd buy that in a heartbeat.
Not the only one, man.
Imagine a Figma, and he just had like swap out arms that were actually just like shitloads of arms, and he's just like, "I'm Ganesh Kamer." Reckon that's what that is. Reckon that's like a Ganesh reference.
Yeah, probably.
There's another reference. Eh?
Thing is, I just think that's Kamer bringing out his inner raver when he has all the different colours.
Exactly. He's like
I
Doro
want to
Doro
go.
Doro Doro Doro.
I want to go to an anime convention one day and just like them have an image projected on one of the like a screen on the stage of just that on like
So-
a repeated GIF.
So what you're saying is Okon, that's
Yeah.
happening.
You know it.
Pretty much, yeah.
We'll get it on the notes for Okon.
Oh,
Okon 2016. It's obviously going to happen. Obviously.
You say
For
that.
that sole purpose. It would just be that in a room.
That's all. Yeah, that's all it will be. Even if it's just me hiring out a tiny room somewhere with just that on a projector. There we go. Okon 2016. You were there.
Do, 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 do.
Yeah, with that music. Archie
That'd
there
be
with a
like
pair
we
of glow
played the-
sticks.
We played a 10-hour
like
version,
hypnotism.
and that'd just be the Saturday night rave.
This sounds like the best con ever.
Yeah, it does.
Oh man.
It's better than some
I'm so
cons I've been to
excited
anyway.
to experience a proper English convention. It's gonna be well good.
I'm keen.
Anyway, the last episode, my favourite episode
Oh.
of anything ever.
The last episode was genius because it finally allowed Kamer to take the spotlight properly.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was able to take center stage and just be like, "This is me being amazing."
I wanted that to be the last thing I ever put on in club because I just felt in my old anime club I wanted that to be the last thing I ever put on because I felt like the ending to it was just so perfect where he's like
Yeah.
I thought he died at first and like and
Yeah.
he just transported to the dating sim world and he's just like singing with all these people.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I love how he's like,
Just-
Elsie like walks into his room and she realizes that he's playing 6 games at once, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, what the hell?" And he's like, "Yeah." It's like
and the
it
next
takes
time
3
she
years
comes
off,
in, he's doing like nutty stretches.
and it's the fact that he
Doing
goes.
fucking yoga.
It's the fact that he goes.
I watched that episode like
6.
3 hours ago.
When I started, I was just playing 1, and then I very quickly learnt to play 2, and then it was 3, and then it was 6, and he's like,
And then it
"This
was
is
12.
yeah, this isn't fast enough. Maybe I can do 24." And it's just like, and he's there just spinning around. I was like, "There's no way that that's faster."
Yeah, this reference, this episode was just kind of like gaming reference porn.
Oh,
Because when he's
yeah.
got like,
Own because of it.
he's got like the power glove and that like Nintendo dance.
He's
mat
got yeah,
controller.
it's the power pad. He's got the
Game
power
Boy
glove, the
reference
power
for
pad.
ages.
It was so
Yeah.
good.
The Game Boy reference. Right, let's name the references. There was the PF1, PF2,
PF3.
PSP.
PF3. There was a GameCube that didn't have anything. That didn't have a name. It was the Predo 64.
Yeah.
The Creamcast. The Y box. And the Atari Jaguar.
I like when he
What
was
was
pressing
the,
A on every console, but it wouldn't have worked on some of those because there's no A.
What was the tape-based system supposed to be representing? Because it didn't look like a Sinclair or a
It just,
Commodore.
I think it was just
Was it
supposed
like generic tape-based game?
Yeah, I think it was. I did love that
I
joke though.
feel like that has to have represented something, just something
Oh
I
my
haven't
God.
seen before.
There was that one bit in the episode where he's got like the Wiimote and he's doing this, right? And it's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, and he's playing a fucking Toho game. He's playing a bullet.
How does that work? He's got this, and he's got the
That's
controller
not
in his other
showtime.
hand. Going,
It's not how you do it, Camus.
Can I just say, Princess
It's his own
Derby?
technique.
Princess Derby is a game that I would play.
And,
I'd play all of them. I want the entire Princess Derby collection.
It's just
in my
Silver
house.
Spoon.
Exactly.
I'm really gonna get back into the series. I'm gonna play all of them at once.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really behind, so let's just do it this
What is
way.
the system? And,
Oh.
Just
One thing though,
invent
in that
entire
arc that's
console.
ridiculous is there is no house in the world with a power system strong enough to have all of those things on at once.
There is also
like you
no
said,
way that
one
house.
thing ridiculous.
Bearing in mind that house also exploded several times over the course of the series.
It's alright, that got fixed by magic, but this is science, yeah?
This is, yeah.
And he must have had, like,
What?
he'd probably have to have, like, 5 or 6, probably 10 separate power lines, because it wouldn't have to be, like, just separate sockets. They'd all have to be connected to separate lines, because if they were just separate sockets on the same line, the power would still, like, overload.
It's all right. What you don't see is that there's a cable going through his wall leading to next door. And next door don't understand why any of the electronics don't work, and they're just sitting there with candles, going, oh, "I hope that one day we can use the microwave."
And there's that one bit where a load of the consoles do actually explode, and the power in the house doesn't go out. It's like, that would trip the breaker so hard.
That's because it tripped next door's breaker.
Ah.
See,
That's why they're using the
and
candles.
they didn't notice either because they were there with their candles and their like tin spam, camping in their own house. As if you can get non-tin spam, but you know, whatever.
No, when you
Fresh
take it out of the
spam.
tin, it's not tinned anymore.
Ah.
Then it's like bold spam or sarnied spam.
Once you remove the armor, it's metallic carapace from the squidgy
Sando de
contents.
panda, spam and dubi.
Wait,
This one's got a hole in it.
Cheese and spam.
Spam and the beans with cheese.
Shout outs to Jet Daisuke.
If plug DJ is working when we go to the after show, we'll have to put that on.
Yeah, we
Just
will.
so people understand what the hell we're talking about.
They've all seen it, of course they have.
Oh, that's no.
Is it Sando de Panda? I want a Sando de Panda.
There was something that I was going to say about the final episode, and this digression with spam, pandas, and like stealing next door's electricity is completely just like made me lose my chain of thought.
All you need to say is it was the best episode ever, and Kama died a happy death.
He did die happy. I like the fact that Elsie kind of makes an attempt to get him to do something else, and then she walks out and she's just like, "Pfft, I'm done. And then the mom's just like, oh, it's probably for the best.
I just adored the imagery in this episode. Like all of the after images, all the colours. It just looked so nice.
Can I say I like the name of the episode as well? Because the name of the episode is More Than a God, Less Than a Human.
Yeah.
I think that's just such a nice name. And, oh.
I like that it just drove home the fact that Kama has not changed throughout this entire series.
Yeah.
Like, there's
That's
no
true.
character
Miss the
development. It's just
games.
Kama. Stays true.
And that's wonderful.
Oh, I think the line of dialogue I like the most in this episode is where it goes like, 1 hour in conquest mode shortens your life by 3 years. Or rather, you'll be so tired, that's how it feels. It's just like, good one.
So that is all of the episodes of The World God Only Knows Season 1.
Did we talk
Yeah,
much
I
about the
talked.
between ones?
We didn't talk about the bug one, the one with the bugged game.
I think that is my favourite episode of the entire season.
Really?
Yeah,
I
I really,
honestly-
really liked it.
I thought an episode was in this one that wasn't, and I was kind of disappointed. It's the one with the bad art.
See,
That is
I
my favourite episode.
thought the
from
bad
that
art
season.
episode and the bug episode was the same. So I got really confused when there was this bint with a sketchbook. I was like, "What's this?" But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode because it was kind of like it was the first instance of this is a game that Kama can't conquer, And then it was just the idea of him going through every single different choice to try and get
I like
around
how
it.
they didn't go home. They were just sat on the
Yes.
roof, just like, go home.
And it just
Right.
kind of brought home this.
Of your own
It just
home.
brought home this point of like some gamers are mental enough that they would do stupid stuff like this.
The biggest kind of like horrible thing about that whole situation is that he couldn't save. It would be so much easier because when you play a visual novel, every time you make a choice you're not sure about, you quick save.
Yeah.
And then if that ends up dying, like killing you, it's fine. You just load again.
The only problem with visual novels is you make that
situation.
choice. You make that choice, and then you don't find out that you've dead and you've gone dead. You don't find out that you're dead until about an hour and a half worth of reading down the line.
What were you
Sorry,
gonna
you
say,
should
Pat?
say
What really annoys me, we never got to see the picture.
I know. I think it's safe to assume that it's just.
like, would you like to see my picture? Would you like to see my picture? Would you like to? We never see it.
I think it's safe to assume that
come
it's
up
just a
with the next
picture of.
season?
I think it's just a. Well, I think it's safe to assume that it's just a picture of Kamer because they kind of show that build up.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if that used like the PFP's onboard camera
Yeah.
and took a
That's what I
photo
was
of you?
thinking when I was
Can,
watching the
can you can you imagine if you were like a really fat, sweaty, neck-bearded otaku, and it just and then your reward for completing this whole game is this?
Cam, this is the picture.
Yeah, that's a picture of me actually. Yeah.
Take it down, we'll get
She
flagged.
needed all the crayons to do that.
My favourite thing about that episode was when it was like, oh yeah, this game got delayed a bunch of times, and then they had this collector's edition that had 2 figures, an art book, a soundtrack, came with some crayons, and the game, and it was only 12,800
Yeah,
yen.
I was like, I'd
They
have
were
bought
probably
that.
like shit figures. They were probably made by Wave Corporation.
Oh, low blow, Sunny
Sick
Jim.
buns!
Oh, they weren't in bikinis, so it couldn't have been.
That's true. They also weren't palm trees.
Yeah, that's
Wave
all.
made
They...
those two.
Hey, whoa! The Wave Corporation palm trees are a piece of sculpting genius, and I applaud whoever created those.
Oh man, I just saw the dick on stream. That's genius.
We're talking about you've been here the whole stream.
Oh yeah, it's alright. I was in conquest mode.
Can we talk about Kamen now, please?
He was a good.
He was shit.
He's wonderful.
He was the best good.
I put on a red jacket to look like him today.
Yeah, man.
Oh.
I
Kamer
wouldn't go full glasses though. Wouldn't go
Kamer
full
is
Kamer.
genius.
He was
But-
awesome.
Got my own PFP.
As far as protagonists go, he is like a wonderful example of a protagonist that is pretty what's the word? It'd be difficult to put yourself in his shoes because he's so deep set in his ways. I'm trying to think of the term now, but he's
Dedicated,
yeah, and it's just
unwavering, linear,
no.
sexy.
Well, yeah,
Arrogant?
that is correct. No, I don't know, but
I like
just,
his passion.
yeah, it's just he's
Yeah.
a protagonist that if he existed in real life, you'd probably go, he's a bit of a dick, but it's
He doesn't
fine
care.
because he's actually amazing.
He's like
Unsympathetic.
like
There
a-
we go. He's an unsympathetic protagonist,
Ah,
but
got your systems.
at the same time, because of that, he's absolutely fantastic. He's like the perfect fit for this series.
And Altair, where the fuck's the figure, man?
Yeah, man. 1/8
Okay.
scale.
I'll buy it.
Cat's
It'll
Riding
cost
Kamer.
10,000 yen. I'll buy it.
I'll review it.
I'll buy 3 of
Limited
it.
edition box set for Black
Oh.
Rose edition.
You get a black version, a white version, an art book, a box of crayons, and a shitty bugged game.
And the drama CD. Don't forget the drama.
Yeah, drama CD, 12,800 yen.
I was like,
And then instead of the
what was the
instead
exchange rate back then?
instead of the girl with the sketchbook, it'll be Kamer, and he'd be there installed in his PFP. He'd be like, "Do you want to see my game?" He was
I love
absolutely
Kamer.
he was absolutely fantastic.
For me, he's like one of the best examples of that kind of like calculating genius
Mhm.
because it takes the calculating genius kind of styled character and then kind of takes it down like the most linear and focused path it can.
Yeah.
In that he is this massive genius and he's ridiculously clever, hence why he gets all these
So-
grades in school and everything without doing
what you're
anything.
so what you're saying is he's like Light Yagami, but an otaku.
Pretty much.
Basically, what it is,
Think
right?
to draw that comparison, but yeah.
basically, he's like Yagami, but instead of finding a death note, he found a demon, and he's gonna die unless he like makes out with a load of girls. Just swap their roles around, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
Elsie runs in going,
He's
"Oh
so
no,
good.
I
And he
dropped
is
my
such a
book."
breath of fresh air
Yeah.
against most like protagonists of harems and stuff like that.
Harem protagonists are just like, oh, I am for some reason.
Can you imagine
Magnet.
this?
So the females, they just come to me even though I've got no personality
Can
whatsoever.
you imagine this? But
Yeah.
instead of Kamer as the protagonist, it was like Makoto from School Days, and he's just like, they're just like, you just have to kiss her. I don't want to.
Similarly,
He would have
though,
lost his head.
imagine if Kamer
Spoilers.
from The World God Only Knows was in School Days.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. He definitely wouldn't get his head cut off.
Spoilers.
But I do like the fact that this was kind of like a romance, sort of almost harem-ish style series where the main
Yeah.
character isn't like a girl magnet, and he kind of has.
Well,
They
a
all
lot
think
of-
they all think he's a dweeb. It's brilliant. Unlike
A
some
lot of it, I think, is kind of like next level sick burns on the harem genre.
yeah,
'Cause it is very
Yeah.
kind of like, it is a parody in a way. I'm not going to throw out that word everyone uses being a deconstruction, because it's not at all.
no, it's not.
But it's definitely like in many ways a parody of the harem genre, and it does a lot of good things in terms of, I think one of the best,
Clever angle.
just like as I said before, obviously I don't like the magic being the setup and why it's happening, but comparing this to something like Amagami SS as I did before, in that it's like it is these separate arcs,
Hmm.
and but it links them with a reason, which is kind of like I just find that so amusing, because there are like shows that do that, and shows that are adapting visual novels or whatever, that are like, okay, I need to do all these bits of different arcs or whatever, and this is just like, you know what, we'll do it, and they all lose their memories, and it's just like genius.
I always get sad when they lose the memory.
Because it's really sad.
Because I think it's important for Kamer. Like, every time. It's a little bit important for Kamer, and that
Takes-
makes me sad.
Takes a little bit of his
It's
heart
right.
away.
I haven't read the manga, but hopefully he falls in love with Elsie, and then he goes, hang about, this isn't canon, and then falls in love with Kanon. And then
You know,
Shiori
I
comes
don't
and
want
lives
any
in Alan's house.
I don't want any spoilers from chat, but if he ends up with Elsie, done. The whole series is shit. 1 out of 10.
No, what it is.
Well, then it'd just be like, kiss sexist?
He won't get with Elsie because she was already firm at the I say firm, but right at the start she was like, no, we're buddies. This can't happen.
Yeah.
But
what-
I totally
what
wouldn't.
Man, she's
I totally
300
wouldn't.
years old.
Yeah, I wouldn't stop it from happening if it was going to, but we shouldn't.
He's a creep, man.
The thing I appreciate the most about Elsie is, barring that honestly quite out of place bathroom scene at the beginning, she is completely devoid of any kind of like sexualization. And I think that works so well. Like, at no point do you think, like, yeah, something's going to happen between Kamer and Elsie. Because she does just feel like a sister. She feels too completely innocent for anything like that to come of her.
And that's
They
why I
put
love
clothes
her.
on her. Like that when she puts the bow on from Kanon's arc.
Yeah,
That's cute.
that's why she's the
Um,
best.
So, we've talked about characters, we've talked about the story, we've been going for an hour, so we should stop moving on. But I want to talk about the dub if I can.
Okay,
Go
Do you
ahead.
not want to say a bit
I-
more about Elsie? Cam hasn't really been able to go full ham on it yet.
I love Elsie so much.
Have you
Um,
got your Daki yet?
No,
She-
it's still on back order. It's so annoying.
She is a cutie pie,
She is lovely.
through and through.
And I don't know, it's weird. I don't normally like go for these like her kind of archetype. I usually think that they're a bit stupid because they are. That's kind of the point of them. But I don't know. There's just something about her that makes me happy inside that she exists. I think-
She's very endearing.
yeah, and she's so simple and just.
Mm.
It helps that she's a demon because that's kind of a trope that I go for. But yeah, I don't know. She makes my Kokoro go doki doki in all the ways, and she
She
likes
is pretty good.
and she likes fire engines, which I think that was the moment. I think that moment was the moment where I went, yes, this girl is
Yeah.
everything I wanted.
The
because
first
it's
time
just,
I saw that, it just blew me.
yeah, it's just such
It
a
just, like,
random,
just blew my mind.
stupid thing, and I was just like, this is fantastic. This is incredible.
It's so good because it's like that's just like so unbelievably moe. Like you have no idea. It's so good. And also, like, the bit where she's crying on the desk is just like, oh.
That's me every time I have to wake up and get out of bed.
Look,
Yeah.
there she is.
Like when she replaces herself in the classroom with that giant thing, and the teacher's like, "Why are you talking?"
They totally go for it. Yeah, it's genius.
That's one of my favorite bits. I like Elsie quite a lot. I'm quite fond of her. She's quite good. I kind of want your figure. I've been looking at your figure on my figure collection, and I've been like, oh.
Which one?
Kanon.
The Fat Company one.
Yeah.
Alan's not here anymore. He's off baking a cake.
Yeah,
But I want that Kama figure. That's
I know,
never
right?
going to exist now.
Fat Company needs to make a Kama figure to go with that Elsie, and it would just be perfect.
Yeah, it would.
Maybe season 4 there'll be like a backlog
Maybe.
of Kama season 1.
The problem is he's a
How
guy,
much
so not
more?
many people make figures of guys.
Unfortunately,
so-
not.
How
No.
much more manga have we got left? Like, is it going to be a season 4 job done, or is it going to be a more than that?
I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. My knowledge of the manga is slim and none.
I would read the manga, but it's not frigging out in this country for some reason.
Yeah, likewise. I tried to find it.
It's out in French, so if I learned to read French, then I could read it. But
Can I talk quickly about the author? Because
Yeah.
he's got a bit of a story behind him. Like he is practically Kama.
Oh, is he the
That's what
god
it's
of
been said.
conquest?
Yeah, apparently he was a NEET for a lot of years. He like entered a competition and got like really high praise, and then for years after he kept on failing to get his manga up. And like one time when he did get it serialized, they took it off after a year, and they just said it was an accidental thing they did, giving him a series.
What?
And when the God Only Knows came out, editors hated it, and they didn't want to see it happen. And then it just got like a big reception in the otaku community. So that's why it exists, because otaku.
To be fair,
am.
it did get like cancelled as well. Like, that's why it ended.
Yeah.
He was told like, it's like, yeah, wrap up your story. You've got a month, and it's like, okay.
oh, guy.
Can I just say, there are people in chat saying that Hackworth is better than Elsie, and you know what? That's fine. No, that's fine. You can like Hackworth as much as you want. That just means more Elsie for me. Cheers.
That's how I feel about Haru, because no one likes
Exactly,
Haru. So I'm
exactly.
like,
It's
yeah,
it's a wonderful feeling. I get a monopoly.
I've got a
You
monopoly
have
on
to
the
share
Haru.
I get
Haru
to-
with like Suin, and that's about it.
And Pat.
Yeah.
Pat's team Haru.
Elsie doesn't have a Sosuke that you have to hate either.
Yeah, that's true. Probably an OVA movie and a half-season anime left. Probably another 2 seasons.
That'd
Everyone
be
seems
cool.
to be like between 1 and 2 more seasons. So.
Alright.
Let's
Wouldn't
hope it
mind a
happens.
movie.
I'd love
It would
it.
be good.
Oh. Oh. Okay. Can I talk about the dub now?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Alright, I love the sub of this show so much because the guy who voices Kama also voices Shio in Utano Prince-sama. So you can tell how good the singing ability is going to be in that idol anime from the last episode.
Oh, I was gonna say, like mentioning singing, the ending of the last episode was just
so
pure comedy gold. In fact, we should have put that on at the start instead of Rave Doro.
You can
In
put
fact,
that on at the end.
I was gonna say,
That
let's-
could be the
No,
outro song.
let's put it on in plug DJ.
Yeah,
Like,
put it on in Plug DJ. But he's a singer. He's in fucking Storish, and that's
he sounds
amazing
it.
to me.
He sounds it. He
Um,
sounds like he belongs in the charts.
Well, that
Most
singing at the
approachable
end is obviously
singing
kind of
in the entire
intentionally
series.
bad.
Yeah.
Really?
oh, I can't
Re-
wait.
Really, Alan. Really.
Can't wait. Anyway, can I? So I love Kama's voice actor so much, but I was really surprised by how much I like his dub voice by Chris Patton. Chris Patton. Me and Cam have met Chris Patton before.
Chris Patton's a good voice actor.
He's a really good voice actor. I really liked him in Full Metal Alchemist. I really liked him in Naruma Daikon Brothers. I didn't like him more than the Japanese voice actor in The World God Only Knows, but he was still really good. And you know when you've got those dubs where you're just like, I don't want to watch this dubbed anymore. I'm just going to put the subtitles on. That's fine. I never felt the need to because it was a really decent dub. And Elsie, I was just like, oh, that's Elsie's voice. You know, I don't know who voiced her, but it's just like, okay, that's Elsie because it sounds exactly like Elsie should.
Mm-hmm.
And they did just a really good job of like scripting it and
It's always
just really-
it's always nice to get a good dub, because people rag on dubs a lot for being like, oh, it's nowhere near as good as the source material, but to be fair, you do get some shit dubs, like some awful ones, but you do more often than not get exceptional ones. And
The World God Only Knows.
the World God Only, if the World God Only Knows is one of those, then I'm really happy for that, because it's definitely a show that deserves one.
Check out the manga release, guys.
And it's one of those shows as well where the actors can can go ham on it as well, because it's a show that's blown out of proportions in many respects. The actors can go to town on it, and I find they're usually the best ones for dubs, especially because a lot of I'm not entirely sure about Japanese voice actors, but a lot of American / like English voice actors, they all have backgrounds in theatre, so they're kind of used to that. So having a platform like this where they can go a bit ham, which is kind of funny in a cyclical way because that's where the term comes from, is good. It's really nice. It lets them let the hair down and just be stupid.
But I just wanted to say publicly, this is a good dub. Good dubs exist.
They do exist.
Therefore, shut up.
Not to say that I prefer dubs, because I do personally prefer subs.
Sometimes I prefer dubs. Sometimes it depends on the dub.
Depends on the show.
Like Full Metal Alchemist, I am a dub person all the way. I can't watch it subbed for the life of me. But this one, I would probably, if I was going to rewatch it again, I would rewatch it subbed. But I've watched the dub now, and I can be like, yeah, if you're not really into reading subtitles, the dub is really good still.
It's nice as well, because once you've watched it once, if you want to just watch it again but don't particularly want to concentrate on it, you just want to have it on.
Exactly.
That's what the dub's for.
That's why I watched it, because I bought the DVD at Kitakon and I'd never watched it. And I was like, perfect timing. So I watched it dubbed. So yeah, there you go. Dub opinions for once.
Wonderful.
And Chris Patton's fucking awesome.
What someone needs to do, any kind of DJs in the chat, if you're out there, what you need to do is get a load of clips, like audio clips from dubbed anime, and create a dubstep track.
Yeah.
A dubstep.
And the other thing that I wanted to talk about this was the design of it, because it features my favourite school uniform that's ever been in anime.
Yes.
Yeah, just
I
the
wanted
school
to say that. It
uniform
looks
is unbelievable.
amazing.
And that is only made even better by the fact that the art in this show is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
I think
The level of detail is insane.
The only thing I can say is that school uniform is not fitting for a public school.
I honestly think that the school is some sort of private school, because if you look at it, it looks way high tech. Like, look at the library. It's got,
exactly. The library.
Yeah, I guess the library is not. But yeah, like that is not a school you go to for free if that's the school uniform, because that is a really, really kind of lavish
with
uniform.
Mio being a character who was like from a rich family and really spoilt and that, and then Kanon being a character, I cannot help but think that this must be a private school.
And it
just did feel it just felt set
garden.
up like a public school still.
Yeah, roof garden. They must be like Kama's probably from a well-off family as well, considering that the dad is away on business all the time, so he must be earning a lot of Dora.
And his mum was from a
Well,
bike.
obviously, because he
there's probably-
spends that much money on games.
Yeah, it's true, but that's probably why his mom didn't drop his dad like a hot potato. It's because he's bringing in the Dora.
The Doro.
The Doro bill.
Does the dad ever get seen in future seasons?
I
was just waiting for him to turn up and just try and get some
I haven't seen him yet.
leeway back. Maybe.
I don't think he's shown up so far. But
He turns up with an actual legitimate daughter. He goes, well, the cat's out of the bag now.
I love this show. Can we do final thoughts and start wrapping this up then, because we're getting on for time?
Let's do this. I need to go to bed, so.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okie smoky.
We just say that OP is amazing.
Yeah.
I love
Yes,
that
the
OP.
OP is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
I've listened to it so many times. I think I've skipped it. It's just great.
I never.
Especially when it
I
breaks
did
down
skip
and goes, God only knows. All that part in English.
I don't know. nose.
It's my favorite part of the whole arc.
It's a good job it happens
just
like
walking
4
down
times.
different
And
pathways.
so. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. Shall I kick us off and we'll do the usual kind of
Go
top
on.
right, top left to bottom right
Okay,
order? Pretty much going to be repeating what I said earlier. I absolutely adore kind of the arcs individually. I'm not too keen on the magic and the whole setup as to why it's a thing, but I understand why it has to be there because you need a plot point to justify why each arc exists, and then the story continues. Pretty much everything I've already said. Characters pretty brilliant, good all round production quality and all that. It gets a strong 7.
Okay. My go.
Yeah.
I love the world God only knows. I don't know what more I can say about it because we have talked about it for quite a while. But all
Not
of
sure
the
if you're all aware.
references and the fact that Kamer is such an otaku, because I always latch on to those otaku characters and they always make a series a little bit better for me. I think I enjoyed this more when I first watched it, and especially when I watched it in club, because I felt like the reception to it was really quite good. I don't know if you'd agree with that, Cam.
Oh yeah, it was really well received when you did it in club.
I think that was one of the best things I put on, and I was really pleased with it. And I love the show, I love the universe, I love the characters, I think it's really good, so I'm going to give it an 8.
Boom.
Go on, Cam.
I'm gonna.
My waifu lives there. That's what you'll
Yeah.
say.
But
11 out of 5.
ignore. Not that I'd ever ignore Elsie, but in fact, she gets to go there for a minute. So, I kind of have the same sort of feeling as Ebby on this. I absolutely adore this show and everything about it. The fact that I can hum Ghostbusters when an arc ends, that's absolutely fantastic. I love the characters. I love everything about it. The premise is pure genius, and it just it just fits in so well. I've got a background in my younger teenage years of being a gamer. I was a gamer before I was into anime, so that's, I can kind of see where Kamer comes from in that respect. But I think for me, this is the one show that isn't in my genre, within my genres, that I genuinely love, in some cases more than those genres that I like, if that makes any sense at all. This is the only show that isn't a shonen or a horror or anything like that I would pick over a shonen or a horror. Like if someone said to me, "Oh, do you want to watch Golden Time or do you want to watch One Piece?" I'd be One Piece all the way. But in some cases, if they were like, "Oh, mate, do you want to watch Dragon Ball Z or The World God Only Knows?" I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna watch The World God Only Knows." And for that very reason, being that one exceptional show that breaks all of my rules when it comes to enjoying anime, it gets a 9.
Is it a cam rating? Oh,
It's a
no,
9.
I thought it was a special cam rating.
No, it's not. It's not a special. It's not Gurren Lagann,
And it's not Hero Man.
and it's not Hero Man, but it's a 9. Which, considering you and Alan gave it a 7 and an 8, that's pretty crazy.
I was thinking about a 9, but I gave it an 8.
Yeah, gets a 9 from me, a resounding 9. It's so close to a 10 as well. But it is just the simple fact that it is the one show that breaks the mold. Doesn't just break it, shatters it over my head and leaves me wanting more. And just the fact that I was able to sit down and watch it and just watch it. It just happened to me. And I was like, wicked. And the one thing that I love about this show more than anything as well, the main point that I was getting at, that I almost forgot to say, even though I was going to say it earlier, I love how it seems to be this wonderful marrying between modern and old school anime, because it's got kind of the modern art style and direction, but it's got the very old school kind of over the top aspect to it, and times where it'll just go, you know what, this scene is so ridiculous, it doesn't need animation, we're just gonna, there he is, and that's okay, that's fine, you just roll with it. The bit, like you said, Pat, the bit where Elsie disappears to make the cake and she's just there like this, and the fact that the teacher just rolls with it, it's like, cat got your tongue, what's going on? And just ridiculous stuff like that is one reason why it's something that I think is missing from a lot of anime that come out these
I
days.
think the tone of this show is spot on.
Exactly, and I absolutely adore it.
You need to watch season 2 and season 3.
I need to watch season 2 again, and I probably will, like, not right now, but it's definitely gone.
We'll probably talk about it on Anime Club sometime.
Well, watching it again has made me remember why I love this show so much, and then I go, bloody hell, there's another season that I haven't seen yet, and OVAs and things. Ooh, it's like Christmas. So yeah, it's wonderful.
Let's pass on the torch to Animelting.
You ready for me? I finished the series about 3 hours ago, so over the course of this live stream, I've formed my opinion, and I love this show. This is excellent. Like, I felt at home with all the references. The characters were amazing. There wasn't an arc I didn't enjoy. I liked everything in the story. I liked all the little jokes. It just came up so often. I don't know what else I can say that I haven't already said. It was brilliant. Might sound like a bit of a cop-out, but I'm going to give it an 8. A really high 8, though. Just, like, on the cusp of a 9.
Man, Alan was the cruelest one today.
That is me saying it right before I watch Season 2. It might change after I watch Season 2. I might start to love the series even more. And then Season 3. And then OVAs. There's probably more of this show to love that I still haven't seen.
You're
going to 8 for now.
Really enjoy Season 2.
And then, in retrospect, I might go, no, that was a 9. Or a 10.
Man, you might even give it a special count.
Well, just when you've done that, if you do change your mind, if you do change your mind, then we'll just have to add an annotation, put it over your face, just being like, Pat decided after season 2 that it's now a 9.
No, just redub me for the entire episode.
I'll do that. I'll replace your audio. Oh, I think it's brilliant. It's a 12.
just to throw one more thing in there, I will say that season 1 is my favourite of the 3 seasons so far. Just because it has my 2 favourite arcs in it of the whole thing.
I think season 1 is my favourite. I think season 3 is the best one, the most interesting one.
I don't know.
Like, not subjectively, I think it's the best one in terms of what it does, because it does something really, really different to the rest of it. So
I liked season 3 like the least by a considerable degree.
So did I, but I thought it was probably the best one in terms. Like, everyone seems to love that season. I think it goes 1, 2, 3.
I think again for me, it's just because that's like season 3 is like magic all over the season, and that's obviously my least favorite part of the franchise.
I kind of want to rewatch
sense.
it all again now, though. You know, now that I've watched one season, I'm like, oh, do I want to watch the rest? Yes, I do.
We could always do other episodes on the other seasons, perhaps.
Yeah, probably.
Do that.
Not this year, but
not this year. Before they release.
Pat back on for season 2. Oh, we'll do it when Pat's in England.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm a state, they will make more. So I'm thinking like maybe we do like season 2 and season 3,
but together.
Season 4 airs. Yeah.
No, we do it when Pat's here. Like, who cares? We do it when Pat's here. Because that's... Yeah. We made plans, guys. Next April. Alright, so shall we end this episode?
Let's wrap it up.
Could you put in the description of the video... Oh, yeah, plug.dj is still up. So if you are interested, we are having an after show over at plug.dj/otakukato. The website might die, and it might be a very short pre-show.
They've just done a massive update, and they've put loads of new stuff on there and changed everything, and it's all gone mental. But yeah, the site is in an extremely delicate state at the moment, so it might go down. But we're gonna
everyone say hello.
If it's gonna break, we'll be the ones to break it.
Okay, so next time we are doing Log Horizon. To get ready for season 2, and we might, I didn't write it on the screen because we're unsure, we might be joined by Bill again, because he's not sure if he's available yet, but be on the 13th, usual time, 4 PM. If Bill's on, it probably will be a bit later, but we'll obviously keep up to date with us on Twitter and everything, and we'll let you know if Bill is confirmed.
The live event will be set up shortly, so if you want to set a reminder tonight, you're more than welcome to do so.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Pat.
Pat.
It's been
It's
wonderful
awesome.
again to
I
everyone
love
out there.
it.
If you don't know this
Yeah.
guy, you need to know this guy because he is amazing.
He is like the sweetest guy in the world. And
Just
he's
so-
on the other side of the world.
Best
just-
club ever.
Just search for Anime Help Desk. It is a magnum opus to end all magnum opuses.
Magnum Opie.
Gonna make
Oh,
me,
bye.
gonna make me blush.
Brush you.
Gonna make me go doki doki.
So to everyone out there who joined us, arigato.
Arigato. you backers.
And we will see you all on the 13th.
Love you guys.
Tiddly
Bye-bye.
toodles.
Bye.
Ciao.